My generation of farmers, we're inheriting tired land. We're inheriting land that has been overgrazed, abused for generations. And it's now my generation's job to restore that land, to bring it back to health, to bring it back to a vibrant ecosystem. We see our animals as a big piece of this regeneration, this regenerative way of growing food. Our pig production is really special. Our pigs do start the year in an open air covered structure with lots of hay at the bottom, which actually kind of becomes like a heated floor for them in the winter.
What we have is Berkshire pigs, which is a heritage breed that we settled on at the request of chefs, actually, because they tend to marble a little bit better than some of the conventional breeds. They started giving birth about 3 weeks ago, and the newest ones we have right now are about 5 days old. They're probably born at 2 pounds, and they stay with their moms for 2 months.
And they just thrive in this situation. They love to chew on the hay. They like to root around in the dirt. They have access to clean water, frost-free water, the whole time they're in here.
The way that my grandfather farmed is very, very different than the way we farm. When my grandfather, he was a child, they would tell stories of going out into the field and coming back just covered in white dust, which of course was DDT. All of my great uncles and grandfather passed away of different various types of cancer. I still don't think there's an excuse to have chickens or pigs in a warehouse shoulder to shoulder where they can't move. I understand from a business standpoint that it would be more profitable to have these systems where the animals are more controlled. Their environment is controlled and predictable and flat.
We are trying to farm in harmony with the wild.
Regenerative agriculture starts with the soil. So starting with soil life, soil health.
Grazing grass and then giving it a break so that it can grow back really well. That's the process that sequesters the most carbon, that builds the soil the fastest. If we can keep the grass healthy, we know the animals are healthy because they're eating healthy food. It's about 6 months to get them from 2 pounds to here.
We find ways to use the animal's natural tendencies to benefit the land.
Pigs dig up and turn up soil. They're really good at that rooting, that digging. But when they do that on land that doesn't have an opportunity to recover or have grass or forage regrow, it just causes bare soil.
What we've found with pigs is we need to move them. We need to move them often. Each week, the pigs are moved to a brand new area of forage where they go in, they have lush, tall cover crop that we've planted for them.
We throw the seed out there and they bury it, and we systematically move the pigs, seed it, work them around in a whole circle. And by the time they get back to the first place, the cover crops can be 2 feet tall, 4 feet tall. It's lush, it's fully recovered, it's absorbed all the nutrients that the pigs left there the time before, and it's ready for another grazing.
They're good-looking pigs. Do they do anything besides eat and sleep all day long?
That's about it. They graze, on the forages that we're planting for them. They eat the grain that we supply for them. They sleep a lot, and then they leave their offering for us.
I know that's happy is a funny word sometimes to use with livestock, but happy I mean like they're not stressed, they're not hungry all the time, like they're healthier, happier animals.
We use a local slaughterhouse in Westport, Massachusetts. We're already taking the bigger ones, so every week we take a trailer load. So we just started this week, and we'll take a group every week for 6 weeks.
We are constantly trying to roll with nature and then trying to fit into the rigid business world of scheduling and bills and, payments. But with climate change, we don't know what typical really is anymore.
Rather than taking out an insurance policy that'll pay us when there's drought, we've built an insurance policy here by thinning out the trees. And we have about half of the pasture space that we have now is partially shaded and just grows right through the droughts. And in here, with the partial shade, will stay green and growing right through the summer.
We are working very hard to become a profitable business. In the beginning, it wasn't about profit. As we are getting older and have a child now and learning, you do need money to exist in the world and to have a comfortable life. I have to stay optimistic to keep doing what I'm doing. I do have hope that we as consumers will recognize that we can take control of our health. We can make changes to what's happening in our food system by changing what we buy and by changing what we eat. We want to be profitable, we want to be successful, but we don't want to be the only ones. We want our competitors to thrive. For us, it's sharing what's worked, what hasn't. Part of our business mission is to create a replicable model so that regenerative agriculture is here to stay.